Again, Lindsay. Hello again, YouTube. So for the fourth lesson today, I know we're finally going to learn some guitar. We're going to learn some chords. And basically I'm going to teach you the key of G to start and all the chords that are in the key of G. So let's get started. Bring it in close so we can see. What we're going to do today is the key of G. So everything that we play today is going to be in the key of G. So starting in the key of G, since it's going to be the first chord in the key of G, I want you to play G. So you're going to take your middle finger and put it on the 3rd fret on the E string, like so. Okay? Then you can take your ring finger, right here, you're going to put that on the B string on the 3rd fret, and then you're going to take your pinky finger and you're going to put that then on the E string on the 3rd fret. And finally, this little guy, the pointer, you can go ahead and put on the A string on the 2nd fret. So this is what a G chord should look like, right? Essentially. Now what you're going to do is you're going to have to strum this down. Now when you first strum it, you might be hitting a string or muting a string and it might not sound all together. That's either because of a few reasons. One, you might not be pushing a string down hard enough, or you might accidentally be touching it with another finger, okay, which is causing it to be muted. And so you're going to have to really arch your fingers up, get them up over there so that your fingertips are right on the strings, okay, so that you get a nice clear crisp sound. Okay, so that's the G chord. Okay, now in order to do the A minor chord, the 2nd chord in the key of G, take your pointer finger, put it on the B string, and that's going to be on the 1st fret, so put it on the B string. You're going to take your ring finger and you're going to put it on the G string on the 2nd fret. Okay, and then you're going to take your middle finger, and you're going to put it on the D string on the 2nd fret. Okay, so that is an A minor chord. Okay. Okay, so the next chord in the key of G, practice that and make sure it sounds crisp. Okay. The next chord in the key of G is going to be B. Now, again, I like to play, here's how I just play it in the key of G, and I'm going to make it just easier for you as well. So again, put your ring finger on the B string on the 3rd fret and your pinky finger on the E string, the high E string on the 3rd fret. And now you can take your pointer finger, and you're going to put that on the A string on the 2nd fret. Okay, so this is the B chord in the key of G. Alright? Now the next note, keep these 2 fingers down right here this whole time. Okay? Take off these fingers. Now the next chord in the key of G is going to be what? It's going to be C. So what we're going to do is take this middle finger, you're going to put it on the A string on the 3rd fret. Right, like this. You're going to take your pointer finger, you're going to go ahead and put that on the D string, the 3rd string from the top down. You're going to put that on the 2nd fret. Now this is called the C2, technically, and it's a chord that I tend to play in the key of G. Okay? So that's the 4th note. Now the 5th note in the key of G is D. So lift off all your fingers except for your ring finger. Keep that on the B string. And now you're going to take your middle finger and you're going to place it on the 2nd fret on the E string. Like so. And then your pointer finger you're going to place on the G string on the 2nd fret. Okay, so it should look like that. And that is a D chord. Okay? Now the next chord, you're going to put your pinky back down the E string, leave your ring finger on the B string. It almost stays there the entire time except for that A minor. Okay, so now the next chord that we're going to play is E minor because it's the 6th note in the key of G. It's going to be a minor. And so this is called an E minor 7. Now you can play E minor just with these 2 fingers here. See how it gives it that kind of sound? I tend just to leave my fingers down sometimes just because I'm already playing in that key. See, they're already down most of the whole time. So this is an E minor 7, and what you're going to do is you're going to put your middle finger, you're going to put it on the D string on the 2nd fret, and then your pointer finger is going to go on the A string on the 2nd fret, and that is an E minor 7. Okay, and then for an F sharp, which is the 7th note in the key of G, you can take these off again. Put your pointer finger on the 2nd fret. It's going to be on the E string, right there. Okay, you can see that. That's how it's going to look. Now I tend to put my middle finger down sometimes, just because I think it sounds a little fuller, and I put it on the 2nd fret again, but I put it on the G string, so like so. Okay, so if you can see that, it's kind of, if you lift these 2 fingers up, that's how it looks. And that's the 7th note in the key of G, and the 8th note in the key of G, again, goes back to G. So what did we learn? We learned G, A minor, B, C2, D, right? E minor 7, F sharp, G. All right, so have fun practicing that. We finally did the key of G. Now, don't get discouraged at all if it takes you a while. This is guitar. It's okay. It's supposed to take a while. You need to put in practice. Practice, practice, practice is what I always say. Otherwise, these lessons are going to be no point to them. Okay. So make sure you have to practice those. Make sure it sounds crisp. Play around with it a little bit. And what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and give you just a little bit of homework with these chords. Once you learn them, then I'll give you a little bit of homework. So your homework is, I want you to practice. I want you to go back and forth from G to C, so I'll show you again. And now when I strum, what I'm not showing you is, right now I'm just strumming for the sake, I'm just going down with my thumb. You can use a pick or a plectrum if you'd like, if you'd prefer. Right now I'm just using my thumb, it's a little bit softer. And so I go down just each string, I touch each string to see how I'm playing it out. Okay, but anyways, your homework is going to be going back from the G to C2. So you're simply just moving these fingers down. Okay, so that's one thing I want you to practice. What I also want you to practice then, if you get that down, if that's too easy, practice this. Going from the G chord to the D chord, back to the C2 chord, and back to the G chord. Okay, and I'll go over strumming eventually, but for right now, as long as you get it down, get each note, make sure it sounds nice. And then another thing to practice, which is one of the first progressions that I ever learned, is going from the E minor 7, okay, to the F sharp, which for convenience, or for, to make it a little bit easier, you can just play it and put that finger there. The middle finger doesn't necessarily have to be down. Okay, so the F sharp to the G. So you can even just do downstrokes with your thumb, or you can pretend like you're holding a pick. If you can either hold the pick, like so. I tend to rest it in here like this. Or you can pretend, as I usually do, sort of pretend like you're holding a pick, and you just come down the strings as well. Or again, you can use your thumb if you'd like to for now. Whichever one's more comfortable for you. So again, I want you to practice from G to C, back to G, and then G, D to C, and then again another progression from E minor, F, G. Okay? So don't get overwhelmed. There's a lot to learn, I know, but the good thing is that you can go back, keep going back, remember how I showed you how to do that, the chords, and yeah, we'll go from there. So good job today, good work. Tomorrow, next lesson is going to be a quiz, so I hope you're ready. Get ready for that, and good luck. Practice as much as you can. Get down for guitar and practice. All right. Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks, YouTube. See you guys again. Bye.